There are cases in the archive that begin with a single question: how is this possible? Sometimes the mystery is in the event itself, sometimes in the warning that came before. Case number 812 is one of those rare files. Officially, it is labeled Unexplained Anonymous Call Prior to Verified Incident. Unofficially, it's known as the Caller from Nowhere.
The arrival of the tape. The call was first reported by dispatcher Carol Finch at the Oak Brook Police Department. It was a quiet Wednesday night, just after 2 a.m., when the phone rang. The line was unusually clear, no static, no background noise except for a faint, persistent hum. Carol picked up, expecting another late-night report about a loose dog or a car alarm. Instead, she heard a steady, calm male voice. "Tomorrow, there will be an accident at the North Bridge. There will be injuries. You must send help before sunrise." The voice didn't shout, didn't plead. It simply delivered its message, then fell silent. Carol tried to ask for details, but the line had already gone dead. The call lasted exactly 34 seconds. She made a note in the call log, marked it as possible prank, and tried to put it out of her mind. But something about the tone, the certainty, the absence of emotion stuck with her. The next morning, at 6:21 a.m., a delivery van lost control on the North Bridge. It skidded on black ice, crashed through the guardrail, and plunged into the river below. 3 people were injured. 1 was trapped in the wreck for over an hour. Rescuers were slow to arrive. The bridge wasn't on any standard patrol route at that hour. When news of the accident reached the station, Carol remembered the call. She checked the timestamp. The warning had come in exactly 24 hours before the crash. She brought the call log to her supervisor, Lieutenant Hobbs, who listened to the tape in silence. They ran a trace on the number. It registered as unavailable, no record. The origin point was listed as unknown. The call, according to telecom logs, had not been routed through any standard exchange. The investigation, a copy of the recording was made. 4 days. The staff at Oak Brook PD played it over and over, searching for clues: a background noise, an accent, a mistake. But the voice was neutral, almost mechanical in its calm. "Tomorrow, there will be an accident at the North Bridge. There will be injuries. You must send help before sunrise." No slurred words, no regional inflection. The only oddity was the faint hum, a low, constant tone beneath the voice. Detectives interviewed Carol again and again. She stuck to her story. She hadn't recognized the voice. It was not distorted, but it was empty, as if the speaker was reading from a script. Lieutenant Hobbs reached out to the phone company for records. Engineers were baffled. The call appeared in the logs only as a blip, an event with no source, no carrier, no trace. As if, one engineer later told investigators, the call was made from outside the network. The accident itself was ruled an unfortunate but explainable loss of control. The van driver, Ed Monroe, remembered little. "It all happened so fast. I saw something on the road, hit the brakes, then nothing." No one else witnessed the crash. The passengers, both co-workers on an early supply run, recalled only a sudden blinding flash as the van hit the ice. A pattern emerges. Within a week, word of the anonymous call began to circulate in local media. The town buzzed with speculation. Some said it was a hoax. Others whispered that someone in the police department must have had advanced knowledge of the crash. But 2 weeks later, a reporter for the Oak Brook Gazette, Lydia Bishop, received an anonymous envelope. Inside was a copy of the 911 recording on cassette tape, along with a note. "This isn't the first time." The note was unsigned, no fingerprints, no return address. The story took on a life of its own. Lydia published an article, "The Voice That Knew." She referenced the accident, the timing of the call, and the mysterious cassette. She closed with a chilling question: if this wasn't the first time, what else don't we know? Soon, the Oak Brook archives were flooded with calls and letters from people who claimed to have received similar warnings about storms, house fires, traffic accidents. Most were impossible to verify, but one stood out. A retired dispatcher from a nearby town, Janice Lott, came forward. In 1998, she had taken a call at 3:17 a.m. from an unknown number. Check the East Tunnel. The train will not stop. She had written it off as a prank. The next day, a runaway freight train barreled through the East Tunnel. Brakes failed. No one was injured, but the incident made the news. Janice had never told anyone, but when she heard about the North Bridge call, the memory came back clear as day. Analysis and theories. The Oak Brook PD requested help from the State Bureau of Investigation. Analysts examined the original call, comparing it with Janice Lott's tape and the other scattered warnings. Every call shared certain traits. Delivered between 1:30 and 3:30 a.m. Measured male voice, no caller ID, no origin point, no trace, always predicting an event within 24 hours, sometimes a disaster, sometimes a small accident, but always something verifiable, the same faint, droning hum in the background. Specialists in audio forensics ran the voice through every known database. No match. Linguists called the delivery stripped of personality, as if the speaker was detached or non-human. Psychologists speculated it could be a form of dissociative disorder or even automated speech. A few detectives wondered aloud about premeditation, maybe a network of informants, hackers, or even law enforcement insiders, but there was never any evidence. Number suspect. No physical clue. The story caught the attention of paranormal researchers and internet sleuths. Some called it a case of precognition. Others speculated about time travelers or signals from the future. A small but vocal group believed the calls were a warning meant to prevent tragedies, but delivered in a way one could truly act on. The unsolved warning. 6 months after the North Bridge incident, the calls stopped. No new warnings were reported. No fresh disasters foretold. But the town had changed. Dispatcher Carol Finch left her job, citing stress and insomnia. Lieutenant Hobbs retired soon after, unwilling to talk about the case. Lydia Bishop, the reporter, began working on a book about unexplained warnings. She kept a copy of the tape in her desk, playing it late at night, hoping to hear something new in the mechanical comm. In 2020, a podcaster covering Unsolved archives received an email with a digital file attached, the same warning, the same voice. The podcaster posted the clip online, and soon, dozens claimed to have heard that same tone, in calls, in static, even in the hum of power lines. To this day, the phone company can't explain how the call got through. No number, no relay, no billing record. The event sits in official logs as a phantom transmission, the only one of its kind. The case is still open. VI. Epilogue. Echoes in the archives sometimes. When the police station is quiet and the lights buzz overhead, someone will play the tape. The voice always sounds the same. Distant, calm, uncaring. The message is never emotional. Tomorrow, there will be an accident at the North Bridge. There will be injuries. You must send help before sunrise. No one knows who the caller was. No one knows how he knew. The only certainty is the unease left behind, the sense that someone, somewhere, can see what's coming, but never enough to stop it. Every archive holds secrets. Some are warnings, waiting in the static. If the phone rings in the dead of night, will you answer?